Hello and welcome back to the Reapers. So it's a tactical debrief today. Now this is yesterday's mission, which was where we had the blue guys, about 14-15 of us, going up against 4 different targets. We had a S300 SAM site, we had a EWR system somewhere, we had a runway to bomb, and we had some bombers that spawn in, transporters that spawn in and fly to the base. Now, we're not going to look at this from a traditional, fully tactical review, because what happened is the Reds had problems, and it ended up that the Reds were completely hamstrung, and so the Blues were always going to win. Basically, the Reds were meant to have 6 MiG-21 fighters with respawns, but because of problems that they had, they went all the way down to 3 fighters, and obviously 3 fighters can't defend all of this, so the Blues were always going to win. We didn't know that at the time, but yep, that's just the way it happened. So it was an unfair fight, but I thought it'd still be good to see what actually happened and see if there's anything interesting there to pick up, like the Vigam bombing, whether the Vigam's bombing were accurate, and if there's anything to learn. So we'll set it going and just see what happens. Stand by. So we took off in our flights, which is seems to be the optimal way of doing it. You've got Spear going up first, speed it up, no reason to wait. Then we've got, I think this was, who were they? Sabre, I think, who were going to take the EWR. Off they go. Sorry, they were the S300. We next had Harriers or Buick. They were going to go take the EWR. Off they go. And next, the Vigans of Hammer, who were going to take the runway. Off they go. Zoom out now. So the first thing to point out is, and we'd planned this, and so it worked beautifully. First of all, we were all going to take off together, as we just did, or as near as we can. So that created a wide front of of Blues coming in, and that's going to make the Reds a job harder. If we filtered in one group at a time, then they could essentially all vector towards and take out the frontmost Blue. But in this case, because we're on a long wide front, they've got to essentially intercept all of us. So it splits their force up, especially if they only had, 6 like they were designed to have, then that makes them pretty thin on the ground. They would have to do an awful lot of work there. So if we had Sword going up here high to intercept these transport planes, these guys going for this EWR, these guys going for that SA-10, and us Vigans going for the runway. And because they had an EWR, that was what was feeding the information. It was critical that we stay in the valleys. You can see all the groups staying together. These guys are a little bit spread for my liking, but essentially everyone's doing their job. These guys are tucked together, these guys are tucked together, staying together and going through the ravines. And because they were low like this, the EWR here could only pick the groups up very sporadically, just when we had to go over a mountaintop or something, then they would lose us again. So information coming back to these Red fighters here was very sparse. Right, and these guys have got to their target already, so they've got slightly ahead. Maybe they had a more efficient route or flying faster, I don't know. They've got slightly ahead to their target. That's something we'll have to... What we're planning to do, we're going to do this mission again, basically, and get the Reds fixed up, so it's a bit more of a fair fight. Just have a quick look, see if there's anything to learn here. Let's slow that down to something more useful. So one thing I noticed is that the Red fighters here were vectored onto Sabre by the EWR and the GCI, but they just didn't make contact, and they got within kind of quarter of a mile there, but they failed to make contact. So that was it's just these guys, they just didn't see it. And for some reason now they just fly off, rather than trying to find these guys and dispatch them, they just fly off. So really these two guys could have done a better job in finding these guys and sticking round and protecting this. Ultimately, probably this is potentially their best asset. Maybe it's the EWR, but this asset here, the S300, basically means that we can't fly up high anywhere within 60 or 70 miles, because that's the range of this amazingly good weapon. I think these MiG-21s just get bored and head off now. Anyway, so Sonic goes and destroys that SM site. Now, because one weakness of the S300 is that if you fly close to it and essentially keep changing your aspect, or you keep flying around. I think around here he was down low behind a mountain, so that's why I couldn't shoot him. And just keep it low and fast. It can't shoot you, but as soon as you approach from say 10 miles, 5 miles or more, it can shoot you. And Squiddle here, he's doing his job, he's protecting, and we have an S-300 missile out. So that's going to be this dude, Sly. He made the critical error. He was flying fine all the way through the canyons, through the canyons, and then at this point, when the action started happening, he's just lost his situational awareness. He's no longer trying to conceal himself, and he's gone up. This is a natural thing. When you're down in the valleys, you can't see anything, and it's a little daunting. And so what he's done is said, right, I know stuff's happening. I want to see things so I can know what to do. So he's gone, right, okay, he's popped his head up, and he's now flying above the mountains looking for things. Well, the thing is, then you're going to get shot, because this S-300 can do it anyway. If he'd done it over here, he would have still gotten shot. And so this S-300 has picked him up straight away, and pow, very little he can do to really dodge it. He's done a lovely turn there, but yep, he was always going to die there. Let's go run that forward. Sonic's put some rockets in, and a bit long, but loads of damage, loads of splash damage done there. And Squiddle's got no eyes really, no EWR information, but he's found these guys by eye, which is pretty cool. Sonic just went in there and disabled the command post. Once the command post is destroyed, that is the SAM site destroyed. So I think he carries on, and I think he sacrifices himself in the end, but that site is essentially destroyed. And he's done it with close-range weapons as well, which is a bit dangerous because they've got Zeus 23 20mm flat cannons in there. Which are real dangerous, but then I think that's why he had to sacrifice himself in the end. But let's just go watch that through. Yeah, he just got shot down at the end of this. Like I said, you stand off weapons to fight these because those Zeus 23s just nail anything that's within kind of gun or rocket range. But he did take out all the value assets there, so he did his job, so we shan't complain too much. Now, interestingly, in the blues, scroll that back. See, the blues I don't know what they were trying to achieve really, but so they gave up on this target. If they'd stayed at this target and circled it, they would never have lost it. So that's something to point out for them. You know, I don't know why they changed their mind and went back this way, but if they'd stayed there, they would have protected the target. And that would have been job done. Anyway, so Squiddle, he's just flying on instinct here. He's looking around for MiGs. Interesting that they kind of merged like this. I don't think neither of them really had any idea where each of them were. And then finally, he just gets a bit of luck, gets a vision of Fort Nero. Fort Nero has no idea the missile's coming, or this guy's behind him, and it's a relatively easy shot in the end. Lovely job. Anything else happening? Let's have a quick look at the overview. So, Tony, so this is what they called Spear. They kind of went the wrong way. Oops. They went out this way to this way rather than coming round this way. But they finally got their act together, and these planes who've got just one MiG-21 defending it, they've finally seen the contrails basically, and they're going towards it. But instead of going out miles and wasting time, they should have really snuck around Mount Eldris here and then could have intercepted them earlier. Would have saved, so that's something to think about later on. Vigans are in now, so we're going in trail formation, super low. Let's just see that through. And Coffee, I believe, gets a... Yeah, so Coffee, by complete fluke, basically, is flying this way and sees the Vigans. Now let's have a look at the relative speeds. So the Vigans are cooking. Vigans are real fast. They're just sub 600 knots, and Coffee is. So we've got our nice little trail going. We're just sub 600 knots. Steph's at the back. He was our air-to-air guy who was protecting the Vigans. Play it through. Coffee is chasing, essentially the same speed, a tiny bit hotter, a tiny bit faster. 2.4 miles away. That's just a little bit above Sidewinder range. I know they're not Sidewinders, there are 60s, but they're similar kind of burn length. So really, 2 miles maximum for a Sidewinder when you're chasing a hot target, a cold target who's the same speed as you. So let's just see that through. And I think he knows that, but I think he just can't catch us up. And yeah, look, it doesn't even make it halfway before it gives up. 2.3 miles. He is catching up. It's a fast bird, that MiG-21. And he knows we're going to be bombing that, so he's got to get us quick. That's a 2.2 mile shot. And it's just died in time. 2.3 miles. We're low on the deck. It's another missile out. It's 660 knots. Still too far. Missile's just burnt out. It's no good. 1.9 miles. So he's almost getting in kill range now. 8 miles. 1.7. Oh, it's going to be interesting. I think he's overtaken his own missile. That's hilarious. Missile 1.6 miles. This is a possible hit. And it's fallen back. These are really slow, these R60s. I'm pretty sure a Sidewinder, American Sidewinder, would have made that. So, not sure how realistic that was with that missile. It just died. The rocket motor didn't last very long. So, and Coffee he's out of gas or whatever. He's had to give up the chase. So that was extremely close. And the funny thing is, we didn't even know. I was in this vegan trail. We didn't even know we were getting chased. So let's scroll forward. We have pretty much an uncompromised attack now. And they got the command, the notice that we were coming in. So 14 hour scrambles to take us out. And he could have taken us out, but luckily, look at that. He just sees us slightly too late. I don't know why he kind of veered off to the right there, but he did. And he's now turning to merge into us, but it's too late. He can't get a shot, and bombs off. And that's interesting. Let's see how the vegans do this climb, because I didn't really know what I was doing. Okay, so that is, just slow it down in slow motion. It's 1 mile from the base. They're in line with the base. They're low. And when has those bombs been released exactly? Let's try that again. Come on, where have you gone? Bomb, as soon as he starts that nose up, the bombs are away, and they're going to travel for miles because they're being fired up into the air basically. And he doesn't keep going up. As soon as the bomb, oh look, they've all come short. Oh dear, blood knock. Trash has done a much better job. They're going to go for longer. Cap has done a better job as maybe mine are a bit short actually. So we've all done the job pretty well. I almost got hit by Trash's bombs, but. Okay, one of Blood's bombs hit the runway. Right, Caps are much better, and so are Trash's. So these are going to just rain down over time. Now, pow, 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 pow. This is pretty cool, not going to lie. 2 Caps hit, 5 of Caps hit, then Trash's have started hitting. Look how high Trash put his. The thing with putting it high is there's more error that's going to be added to the bomb path, because there's more flight time. And that error, even though it's a tiny bit of turning error, has mean that they've all missed. So I'm pretty happy with that actually. I think that was my bombs were the only ones that really hit. So suck a lemon. That was my first time as well. Is that a good technique? I still don't think that's a particularly good technique. I mean, what was it for? I guess it was so we could avoid running over the runway. I still don't see why we couldn't have used low drag bombs, popped over there at 200 feet, and then we would have assured that would be 24 bombs that would have hit. Anyway, events start occurring. That is a massive mess that's about to go on, so let's just rewind that. Let's back up to full speed. Forward a bit. So bombs go off. Seth's doing his job. He spots that MiGs are around, turns around, tries to engage them. It's going to be a bit hard to follow. AAA's going up from the base. Seth did a lovely little dummy back there to get onto Fort Nero. Fort Nero shoots a Trash. Trash is somehow dodges. I don't know how Trash isn't dead. A robot comes out, so that is essentially the Sidewinder from Seth. It was a bad shot. Let's have a look at that shot. So these R60s just died. I think that was Trash was a bit lucky to be alive there. So that shot there. He just asked a bit too much of that, really. Look how tight, the aspect of Fort Nero. He was turning so tight, and Seth was really trailing. He wasn't leading at all in that shot. So he had asked his missile to fly around here and all the way around here, which he might be able to do with an AIM-9X or, excuse me, or a Romeo 73. But an older missile like this, no chance at all. So he should have been pulling a lead if he wanted a chance of hitting him. And firing, quarter of a mile ahead. So never mind. Coffee's got a brilliant solution on Seth. So Seth, I assume, is about to die. Where's Capcom? Oh, there's me. Okay, I took a bit of a dodgy route. Okay, Coffee's just lost all situational awareness. Hey, he's lost his engine. He's lost his engine. I don't know anything about MiG-21s, but I know that engines can stall relatively easy. You see his speed burning down, so his engine's died for whatever reason. So it's now a fight between Seth in the Vigan and this MiG-21. I guess they're relatively easily kind of equally matched foes. They've both got the same kind of quality of weapons and roughly the same kind of speed flight profiles. Let's see what happened. Now Trash here, rather than running away, has decided to come back into combat, which is fair enough. There was no particular stipulation to run away. I think I had seen these big planes, and I'd asked people to go and attack the big planes at the time. So Seth is still trying to get Fortunero. Now Fortunero is he's slow, relatively slow, but he's putting big G and he's putting big angle in there. Makes it very hard to shoot. Coffee's died. Obviously his engine was out or whatever. Trash and Seth are now both on Fortunero. Squiddle's also come in. Just follow this fight through. Squiddle's coming fast, energy high. Look at that. It's coming nearly 600 knots. That's a kill shot. Great shot. So that's more like it there. He's not asking the missile to do anything difficult. He's got lead, well, he's waited essentially until Fortunero is straightened out, and that is just, that missile doesn't have to bend, it doesn't have to scrub, it just goes straight into the hostile. Fortunero survived the attack, which happens sometimes. We've now got two dudes. This Figan's slowly getting his energy back. We've got Sprang and Praying going out from Squirtle. Fortunero is obviously damaged, and that's it. That was done. I think there was a friendly fire here, which there's no hostile, so I'm not quite sure what happened. Seth just got confused. Look, I thought that was he's quite new to us, so yeah, he just didn't realise that was a F5. Thought it was a MiG-21. Never mind. We're sure he'll watch this back and he'll be kicking himself and saying, "Ah, damn it! I won't make that mistake again." So that's fine. What else happened? So while that fight was going on, where is Bloodknock? I can't see him anywhere. There he is. So Cap decided to run away because I'm a newbie in the Vigan. I didn't know how to shoot my missiles, so I just ran away. If we look at that, 700 knots, nothing was catching me. Blood, being a better pilot, Vigan pilot, he's decided to go and attack these dudes. And a good thing to point out here, if you're going to attack a bunch of bogies like this, especially with older planes like this, maybe it's not as relevant with something like an F-15 or something, but with an older plane like this, the best way to kill this lot, I know they're a bit unnaturally spread, but I had to make this mission in a hurry. The best way to kill them is to merge with them. That means to essentially get behind them and fly in formation with them. That gives you the maximum shooting time, the least pressure. You're asking your missiles to do the least work, and this is the best way of killing them. I'm just going to get my camera up there. Right, so he's now flying formation with them, and he can just sit and turkey shoot all day. That's a robot out, and pow, front guy down or damaged. And he's done a snap roll, so he's done that roll there. Basically, he's decided he was going too fast, which he was. He was going like 500 knots. These guys are only going 300 odd knots, and so he's done that barrel roll there, and that's the best way essentially of staying on target but scrubbing your speed down. It's the best way of braking, much better than say putting on your air brake or anything like that. So that's why he's done that. And does he get a snapshot off? No, maybe another barrel roll to slow himself down, and yeah, he's just got another last minute robot off. And Tony comes in. Oh my god, look at that speed. I've never seen such speed. That was fast. So Tony and Elo finally made the party. They took a wrong turn earlier on, but they finally made it to make up. And look at that speed they've achieved, 770 knots. That's like kapow. That's amazing. Look how fast that is. Just shoots right by them. So it was a bit silly to merge so fast, but it was quite cool to watch. And no, he even gets a kill that. Or damages one. That's pretty. So his job now is to burn his speed off quick, turn around, merge from behind with the fleet. And Elo, I think, will come in. Oh, stuff's even happening over here. So what happened over here? Thing is, I didn't get to see any of this because I was just running away basically. It's interesting to watch it. So you've seen that. Tony comes in. Right. So this is when Squidward's getting friendly fired, so that's fine. Right, so Trash he's finished off the fight down here, and he's immediately turned in climbed. That's one good thing about these Vigans. They're very powerful. And he spotted this one here who's damaged. This plane here who's damaged. Elo comes in, puts some guns on him, misses, and then Trash fires in there and gets killed. Very good. Tiny criticism that he was firing while Gunzello was very close. So the problem with those heat-seeking missiles, especially the older ones, they do have a tendency to change targets to the hotter target, and this fighter here would have been the hotter target, but we got away with it, so it's okay in this case. Any other action? Okay, we've got a Uderosis. He was the guy defending the transport planes. He's made it in. He's coming fast. He's seen Gunzello. That should be a relatively easy kill. A huge energy shot there. It's fired. There's not asking. Right. That was what beat it. Look at that turn by Elo. I very much doubt Elo even knew this guy was here, let alone firing at him, because it's just, it's complete chaos at the moment. But he's just pulled this whopping great 9G turn around here, or a high G turn, just when the missile was firing, and it was enough to make it go crazy, and it did end up going crazy in the end. And the problem we've got here now is we've got Uderosa merging with Gunzello, but Uderosa's 800 knots. No way he can slow down now, even with barrel rolls, he can't slow down that much. So let's see what he does. So it's, well, yeah, straight past him. It's just too fast even to get guns on. And Elo has taken a nice easy shot on this guy. Lovely job, sir. He's going to turn back, merge, spray and pray. Lovely job. Uderos is working within the limits of his machine, I imagine. He probably couldn't do a tight enough turn to get on it there. He was probably going too fast. Elo's finishing up this guy. Anything else going on? No, we're all running away. Cap's away. Bloodknock's away. Trash is away. Seth, I think, is still alive. Yep, Seth is away. Elo finishes that guy off. Tony's chasing these two douchebags down. Let's run that forward. Elo made a mistake there. He shot past that guy. Okay, Uderosa here. I don't think Uderosa had a very good day. Fired a missile. That is an ambitious shot. So he's fired. He's not really put any lead on when he's fired, as far as I can see. So that missile's had to fire against a target who's aspect right and very fast, and that's a good range. It's a good 3 miles or something like that. So that missile has to turn ahead of Tony and fly at this angle, which has scrubbed a huge amount of the speed off, and these don't seem to be particularly good missiles anyway. So that's almost certainly going to be a miss. And it is. So ideally, Uderosa would have merged behind him before taking the shot. Now this is a much better shot now. It's behind him. It's the blue sky straight, flying straight. So a missile now would do the job. So let's see that missile, but he just hasn't fired for some reason. So I guess that was just the wrong decision making at the end of the day. And he's flown straight past him, oversped. Having to correct, trying to get behind him, and he's corrected too hard, and he's over-G'd, he's G-locked, or he's killed his engine, or something. So that, you know, often see the Reds flying bad, but you just got a load of bad flying today, basically. Have a look at that again. So freeze that there. He's coming up behind Tony, way too fast. So he really wants to correct this change in speed, or if he's not going to fire a missile, he must be out of missiles, so he can't fire a missile for some reason. He really wants to correct this differential in speed as early as he possibly can, rather than waiting to get to the last minute and then slam on the brakes. So it would have been nice to see him barrel rolling here or whatever, burning the speed off before he got to the blue guy. But instead, he realises he's screwed here, nothing he can do, can't get a gun solution, panics and just snaps the stick back, and that's, you can see the aeroplane stall there. But it's lovely to see what kind of alpha he puts on that for fun. Stand by. Okay, so let's try it again. Alpha is currently 9, 16 degrees, 24 degrees, 30 degrees, 34 degrees, 35 degrees. So that's essentially killed the MiG by putting such a high alpha. So there's a bit experienced guy there. I wouldn't usually see that. So what he should have done is just not snap back on the stick there, especially a plane that can't handle that huge alpha. You should have just run out wide and burn off the speed that way and kind of yo-yo back in. So that's what I would have expected to see. So a bit of a panic snap there, and that's killed the plane. either it's killed the pilot or it's more likely killed the engine. I don't know much about these planes, but yeah, it just like it's killed the engine. It's just dead now, isn't it? So, luckily there from Tony. And I can't remember there being any more action, so let's just scroll it forward. LOSC there, just taking out the rest of those those big guys. That's fine. Lovely job. I've got a Mirage that's spawned in now. Yeah. So this is all basically we had Mirages spawn. They weren't supposed to spawn until the big tanker planes landed, but the tanker planes wouldn't land for some reason, so they decided to take off there, which is fine. They obviously had massive technical problems, so we'll just ignore that fighting for now. Anything else? Tony gets shot down by Mirage. Obviously, it's not much of a fair fight, really. It's a Mirage versus an unarmed low-fuel F5, but this wasn't really legal play, so we're going to ignore it for now. This is legal play. This is MiG-21. Udarosa's finally got his engine working. That's pretty cool. So he stalled his engine, I guess, by doing that snap turn. He's got it working again, and now he's doing a chase against Gonzalo. Now, this is pretty cool. Going to be a cool chase because this is a Winchester low-fuel F5, which is a bloody fast, slippery plane, versus a Winchester low-fuel MiG-21, which is a bloody fast plane. Which is faster? Don't know. We're about to find out. Both on the deck. So Gonzalo's doing just the right thing, which is keep low and fast. He's 600 knots, burners on, keeping low, out of the way of any possible radar detection. Not that the radars are here because we've killed them all, but whatever. And the MiG just can't keep up. It appears they're both maxing out. Pretty much. Actually, I'm not convinced this plane's actually on burners. I'm pretty sure an F5 can go like 800 knots or something, so they're probably not on burners at the moment. Oh yeah, this guy's on burners now, 650 knots. And these missiles, send a missile out, these are pretty crap. I don't think they're very aerodynamic. Fired about 2.5 miles, so it's just a little bit ambitious for such a fast target. Catching up now. 700 knots on the red. Gonna fire another. Sure, he did have missiles. That's weird. If I didn't know this happened, so I was a bit lucky. Wow, look at that! I just saw nearly 800 knots, and he's out of gas. He's out of gas. It's the only reason for him I can think of stopping that, breaking that quickly. Another miss, so he just accelerated for the last shot, and that is close. I don't think Elo had any idea these missiles have been shot at him. That's probably, 300 feet behind his plane. Just made it, and this guy's out of gas. Pow. Cool. So I think that was that done. I don't think there's anything big. Like I said, the mission didn't really work properly, so there's nothing big tactical to talk about. There were some cool little fights going on. Just one thing we should go and look at, and that is the bombing of the EWR. Of course, I never really got to see that, so let's see what happened there. Here we come. And Sherman is their leader, and he's just going over for a quick look to order his men in. Here's the 3 Harriers, and all flying together, which is I like. That's what I try and get my men to do when possible, when they're not, under any direct threat per se, because then Sherman knows exactly where these guys are. He can control them. So Sherman's got eyes on the thing. It's getting shot out by the Zeus's. Very dangerous things they are. Oh, Sherman's even been hit. I didn't know he got hit. I thought he was okay. And these guys just got hit. What the hell happened there? And the EWR's dead. Oh, the Zeus killed it. Would you believe it? Those cheeky sabres. Look what happened. Sherman went so low that this Zeus shot his own Zeus and his EWR. Retard. Right, so that's my fault. It looks like I put these slightly too close to the EWR. I should have spread them out a bit, and that wouldn't have happened. And these guys then saw, right, EWR smoking. We don't need to go in and waste our planes. We're just going to fly away and claim the kill. So that's fair enough. Never mind, these things happen. So all in all, a bit stacked against the Reds there. Never really had a hope. Great mission though. Great to fly. We'll do it again with some more guys. Thank you very much, and I'll see you later.